Hi everyone and welcome to my channel. Today we will be doing a video about how to make cash envelopes for a cash envelope system. I wanted to get started on switching to a all cash budget, so I thought the fastest way to do so would be to make my own envelopes instead of buying some on Etsy, and I actually only spent $8.44 doing that by mostly finding things already in our house to make our envelopes. Those included some stickers that I had left over from purchasing some Erin Condren products, as well as packing tape. The only thing I bought was that cardstock you can see there from my local craft store, which was the $8.44. I also had $1 to use to make the size of the envelopes, some scissors as well to do all my cutting and my trimming. And let's go ahead and just jump into what we did. So the first thing was to take the cardstock out of the packaging. I did spend right around $1.99 on each of these sheets of paper, so I tried really hard not to waste them, which you'll see as I struggle through trying to figure out how to make the shapes of these products. I definitely struggled with that, and I did end up wasting one of these papers, but you'll see I kind of used my dollar bill to orient all the pages. I was able to make $1 shaped envelope per sheet, and then I ended up having to kind of get creative later on. So I kind of show where that dollar would land. Oh, here comes my cat. He also was very instrumental in making these cash envelopes, and it took me a few minutes to kind of convince him to get out of my filming area. He's a great guy. He just really needs a lot of love. Alright, so back to the video. So this was me just trying to figure out, okay, which way do I want to orient it? These pages were actually 12 inches by 12 inches, and so both would have resulted in the same thing. So you could definitely see me kind of thinking about how I wanted to do this. So I did use my sticker books as my ruler because I didn't have one on hand. So I kind of used that to draw a straight edge. I made sure that I had enough room that the length was $2 bills, and then I just needed to make a straight line after that. So, and of course I used an eraser tip pen, that way I could erase any of those mistakes that I made. Alrighty. There I am, finally committing to drawing those lines. And I wanted to make sure I continued a very clear line, that way I didn't have to go back and have like multiple bent lines. I probably could have used a longer ruler. If I had one on hand, that would have been really good. And this is me just going through and cutting that line. And I did go ahead and fold it, and you'll see that I kind of made a little bit of a longer envelope than I really wanted to. And what I ended up doing was making that perfectly shaped envelope right here. I put that dollar bill in the middle of the pieces of paper, and I folded it over, and that way I knew exactly the right size for my bill length envelope. And I'm just cutting to make sure that the whole envelope right here is made. I'm not that crafty of a person, so clearly I was just kind of going along with the flow, and I was willing to make mistakes. Perfect dollar size. I was really happy with the shape of this specific envelope. And then I went to the other half of the piece of paper that was left over to try and also make an envelope, and I found out that it was just the right size if I did folded over dollar bills. So I had envelopes of a few different sizes, and I was pretty proud of myself for being a little resourceful and making sure I didn't waste any of my scrap paper, which I definitely did not. This is another third piece that I was also able to make an envelope out of. Just being resourceful and just trying not to spend too much money to switch to this cash budgeting system, because it didn't really make sense to spend a bunch of money to make this happen, especially if maybe we decide not to do cash budgeting in the future. We've actually been doing it for a week now, and it's been going really, really well. So the hardest part that I had in making these envelopes was really trying to cut these straight lines. I think if I had one of those really fancy paper cutters, I would have been really rocking and rolling, but again, didn't want to spend too much money, so I took a little bit of extra time to try and get these lines as straight as possible that I was cutting. I'm also left-handed, which you can see in the video, and even though I'm using left-handed scissors in the video, I failed scissor cutting back in kindergarten, and it really shows. I have not yet been able to perfect that skill. So the next thing I did was use my tape. So what I did was I taped one end of a long piece of tape on the back side, and then I folded over those tapes. So the trick here was to try not to get the tape stuck to any of the other pieces of paper in the background, but if I was able to fold them over just perfectly, I was able to then struggle through getting it unstuck. Oh gosh, I was so afraid to rip any of my extra paper too. Alright, so I was able to fold those two over, and then if I had held those right, I could fold over the last edge of the envelope, and it made a perfect envelope that fit my money, which I was really excited about. Now, I do find that they stick a little bit because you can feel a little bit of the tape on each end of the envelope, but it looks really nice, and it definitely gets the job done for under $10. I then went through my stickers to pick out the perfect sticker for my envelope. I had a lot of really good options, but I am obsessed with this periwinkle color. Purple is actually one of my favorite colors, which is why it's all over my channel. And so I put that over to the right hand side because I also really like when things are off center. And I stuck that down, and then took one of my favorite writing pens that I use for all my planning, which is also another Erin Condren project that I really enjoy using, that has a really nice fine tip. And here I am, hopefully spelling groceries right. If you've seen other videos of mine, you'll know I am not really a great speller, and groceries always trips me up, but I did it successfully. Go me. And that is how I made my very first envelope. And if you enjoyed watching this video, definitely subscribe to my channel to watch more videos about my cash stuffing envelope system. I've really enjoyed doing it so far, and I appreciate everyone who has subscribed. And I hope you also have a great rest of your day. Goodbye.